So I had my worst day ever as a reseller, and it's not even close. And I'm going to talk to you about that and the message that I'm taking away from it on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin Ain't Easy. And yeah, as I mentioned in the intro, Thursday was by far the worst sales day, whether full-time, part-time, anytime, that I have ever experienced on eBay. And I don't know if it's eBay's fault. I mean, of course, I have to place the blame square on my own shoulders, because you gotta acknowledge the fact that, this is what I'm selling. And, I had 0 sales on Thursday. And I'm sure there's many of you out there who did just fine on Thursday. But for me, goose eggs. And the first thing I do is I go into my sales reports, my traffic reports. And as you can see here, I had, I think, 3 or 4 days in the last 30 days where I hit over 100,000 impressions. And Thursday, I exceeded that. My page views were very high as compared to the last 30 days, and 0 sales as a result. So it's when that happens, and it will happen as a reseller in this business. When it happens like that, you just got to kind of shrug it off, maybe work a little harder the next day. But that's not all that happened. I had 2 different messages from 2 different buyers. And one was a Keurig coffee maker that I shipped just like to the next state. And I had a good box. I felt like I packaged it well. However, Thursday sends me an email with like 5 photos showing that this coffee machine was just thrashed. I mean, just beat to all hell. And it's like that had to have been mishandled, because I've sold dozens of these packed the same way and no issues whatsoever. So it's like, well, normally, now the way I handle that, you guys know that I don't like dealing with partial refunds or anything like that. Normally, the buyer has to open a return, provide them a return label, they send it in, we verify that there's a problem or whatever, and we give them a full refund. But for me, the item arriving this bad a condition, I always take it on a case-by-case basis. If that buyer provides me with 5 or 6 photos, there is absolutely, in my mind, no reason how that they can provide me the photos of this kind of damage. I guess you could say maybe it's a photo of their old machine. But you know what? I have to look at each buyer individually. That's why a lot of times I'll look at the feedback that they've left for other sellers. I'll look at the number of transactions that they've had on eBay to try to get a sense of the buyer that I'm dealing with. And, while it's not comfortable, it sucks, a $50 refund. I mean, it was already sold for parts or repair as a non-functional unit. But you know what? What can this person do with this item now? Maybe they were going to part it out, maybe fix the unit, and it's that bad a condition. Thankfully, they reached out to me. They didn't leave a negative feedback, and they gave me a chance to resolve the problem. Now, the way I resolved it was I ended up giving them a complete refund. And that stings because, I maybe could try to file a complaint through or a claim through USPS, or actually I think it was UPS in this case. But, after talking back and forth with the buyer, they sent me a picture of a box that didn't look bad. So how am I going to point to this item as being mishandled? That kind of should have been done by the buyer, maybe taking photos of the box before, when they get it and they notice that there's damage. Not after the fact when I prompt them to send me that information over. They weren't happy with me initially, the buyer, because they didn't see box damage. But really, there's only so much you can do, and I felt like I packaged this thing up pretty good. So gave them a full refund. That stung. Another hour passes, and an item that I received in a very large pallet about a month or two ago, and I was trying to sell it locally. It's a large range hood. It's like 35 pounds. And, it's not that heavy. It's more of a bulky box item, like an aluminum range hood. It was brand new, fully functional. We tested it out here, did the whole video thing, and we sold it for like $149. Now, normally on Amazon, this thing goes for like $400, but I felt like they got a good deal. And, we took a lot of photos, used all 12 photos, and, we wrapped it up as good as we could, made sure that there was no room for this thing to move inside the box. And it was going to Texas from Las Vegas through UPS ground, and it cost about $50 to ship. But you know what? Buyer paid for that. They paid like 200 something bucks after it was all said and done. And so we got it all packed up real nice, shipped it out. And of course, an hour after that other situation, I get a message from the buyer, and the buyer saying, hey, this thing's all busted up. And again, it's like you're dealing with a good buyer. You check their metrics, like I was telling you before. They sent pictures of a bent up hood, and the middle part where all the electronics go through was just busted, like someone took a hammer to it. And I couldn't believe it. These don't happen very often. You may get an item shipped, and something happens to the item, and the customer contacts you. And if you're doing it right, it'll happen, but it won't happen so often. And in this case, they sent me photos of the item, and they noticed that there's box damage. So that one, I'm probably going to pursue a claim. But I'm in the same boat. Do I want to spend another $50, have them open a return, count against my metrics, spend another $50? They've already provided me proof of what they're shipping me. They seem like good people based on the conversation. They weren't rude. They weren't nasty. They weren't making demands like a lot of scammers do. So my sixth sense said to me that I was dealing with a legitimate situation. Most buyers are going to send you proof right on the bat without you asking. They're going to take photos of the item. Now, it's your job as a seller to weed through the BS and to make a business decision that's going to save you money. So I saved myself $20 in the first situation by not having them send this beat up coffee maker back to me. I saved myself like $50-$60 not having them send this big hood that had dents in it and had the main electric part of the unit all broken up and not even functional anymore. So after it was all said and done, hitting my account, I had no sales that day. eBay had already sent my money from available balance. So I'm looking at a minus $250 day. And that stings because I haven't had the greatest of starts to 2022. And again, I can tell you 100% it's on me as a seller, in that my sourcing has been horrendous. I've told you that in many videos. And sourcing around, for whatever reason, this year is a lot different liquidation wise than it has been any other year, in that I am used to, by mid-January, getting a ton of different lots to choose from, because of the inundation of customer returns from the Christmas holiday season. And I don't know if that happened, but I can tell you the resources that I use, all of them are down as far as the number of items. In fact, there's some liquidators that I deal with that haven't had any inventory over the last week. And that's really concerning to me because it makes me wonder what this sourcing method looks like long term. Is it that the large liquidators that send truckloads and sell to other liquidators that break it down in pallets, are the bin stores taking up all the merchandise? I mean, it certainly may be that a lot of this merchandise isn't even making it to the liquidators I deal with who sell by the pallet, because a lot of this merchandise has been being sold by the truckload and totally bypassing my middleman that I need to buy from. And maybe it's getting harder for them to obtain the truckloads that they need to sell me the pallets of merchandise. So I'm going to have to really, really dig deep down and hard and figure out what I can do to sustain this business, because it doesn't matter what I come out here and tell you guys to do. If I don't have anything to sell, and I'm getting low. I'm down to probably 3 large tubs of the smaller items I like to sell, and I probably have about 10 to 15 larger items that I've been sitting on. Now, thankfully, this shortage of items has given me the opportunity to get to some of the stuff I've been procrastinating on, and I'm going to show you guys on a future video. But I have quite a few interesting items, and I got to get those moved because I can't just let them sit here. So I still have stuff to do in the meantime, and I'm still searching. I'm not out of business by any means, but this whole thing on Thursday, for most people, it'll cause them to just quit, and I know better, because I've been in this game long enough that you have to use that as motivation and keep your head up, and know that maybe you have to work a little harder, maybe you have to work a little smarter, and just do the best you can with your current situation, and know that through perseverance, you're going to be better in the long run because of it. And you need days like this. You need bad days like this. As much as it stung me, it really, really demotivated me at all. I was really demotivated on Thursday. And it makes you kind of feel like, that thought crosses your mind. Why am I even doing this? But you got to look at the better days. And I know a lot of my better days are behind me, but I'm hopeful that there's a lot of good and better days ahead. And if you've ever had a bad day on eBay, don't quit. Keep your head up. Allow my experience to tell you that you're not alone, and you're not the only one that may have had some bad days. But you know what? I'm going to get through it. You're going to get through it. And I just wanted to share that experience. And it's by no means a, woe is me video. If you got that message out of this, that I'm on here complaining, I'm just sharing my experience with you. You know what? I share the good. I'm going to share the bad. Some channels won't share the bad. They're going to prop themselves up to make you think that they're all that in a bag of chips. Well, guess what? I'm not portraying myself to be that. I want you to see who I am, and if this is the kind of video that you like watching, hit that like button. Certainly, I would appreciate that. That helps the algorithm, and tell others that this is a halfway decent channel. And of course, hit that subscribe button if this is the type of video you watch. If you're a seller out there that you're grinding away like I'm grinding away, please, we'll be glad to have you. Certainly hit that subscribe button. And of course, hit that notification bell, so when I get a wild hair and decide to go live, you're going to be notified and you can be part of the fun. So guys, just another day here, flipping away, trying to get past that Thursday and build off of maybe a little momentum that I gained today. Not a whole lot of sales, like 6. But you know what? When you're coming off of a 6 sale day with 2 instant refunds, not even returns, 6 sales is a lot better progress, as compared to that. So, you know what? I'm just going to keep my head up, and I'm going to keep plugging away. I suggest you do the same. Comment down below. Let me know if you've had bad days and what you had to do to overcome them. What did you learn? How did you grow from that bad experience? And I hope, by watching this video, you probably didn't quit. But certainly let me know down below. But guys, bad days are going to happen to all of us. And it's just yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have a great weekend. Trying to get my voice back. Thank you if you've gotten this far through the video to tolerate this voice. I certainly appreciate that. I will be coming out with more videos, so keep an eye out for it. And until then, I want you guys to have a great weekend. Take care, everyone.